Hey there, Ride the Car Guy here, and today we say goodbye to the prop rod on the Xterra. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that I also have a Nissan Titan, and what I love about the Titan is that it has the hood struts that hold it up. No need to use a prop rod. So I hopped online and found a kit where we can have that same experience on the Xterra. The kit comes with, of course, our 2 struts and all of our bespoke mounting hardware that is specifically designed for the Nissan. It's not going to come with any bolts because it's going to use the existing bolts and nuts that are on the hood and the fender of the Xterra. So let's grab all of our parts and head over to the X. I decided to move outside since it's so absolutely nice out. But right here are the bolts that we're talking about. We have one down here. This is a 10mm, and then we just have the 2 nuts that are sitting on studs in the hood, and those are 12mm. Now we want to mark the location of our hood before we do anything, only because when you loosen these nuts, they are going to make the hood sort of slide around. And obviously we don't want to do that. We don't want our hood misaligned once we loosen this. So I'm just going to take some masking tape and just get it as close to the actual mount as possible. And so that way, if it does slip out of alignment, we know exactly where to set it to make sure it's aligned. Now just take these nuts off of the studs here. There we go, and it did move a little bit, just like I thought. So it's good that we have that tape up there. Then we grab our bracket and slide it in place. Now this one, and I had this sort of strange issue where the bracket doesn't really align exactly. So basically this piece here hits the hood before this is flush with the mount. So the way I'm going to get around that is just throwing on a couple washers. It's really that small. It's very, very small difference. But putting those in there kind of bridges that gap and makes it so it's aligned and everything's flush. So with that back in place, just get your nuts back on there. And before we tighten these down, make sure that your hood is all aligned using those tape markings. Looks good. It's hard to see because the bracket's obviously covering it up, but it's all aligned underneath. So we're just going to tighten these back down. It does add a little bit of distance, of course. So previously the studs were sticking out, but now they're flush. But I'm comfortable knowing that it has a lot of the threads in there and it's most of the way through the nut, so it should be fine. So I'm going to take these off. Then we can move to our other mount, and after that, we just throw the strut on. So switch to your 10mm and just yank this one out here. These brackets will only fit on one way because you have this little channel here. Slide that in and then tighten it down. Once that's done, grab your hood strut, and you'll notice it's going to be a little too long. So we just want to grab our hood here, lift it up further. Once it's lined up, slap it on there. Awesome. And what's nice is this actually opens your hood even further than the prop rod would. So that's an added benefit there. Once you've completed this on the other side and you have both struts in place, you can just remove your prop rod by lifting it up here, tilting it over, and it should pop right out. And it looks like this little mount here might obstruct the strut once it's down. So you should remove this little clip as well. Let's find out how we're going to do this. Looks like it might just pinch in here. There's just a little clip on both sides that you push down, and this slides right out. So I have both done, and I already love it immediately, mostly because it holds it up even higher than the prop rod normally would. That means we're going to have more access to things, and hopefully that means I'm going to hit my head a lot less. Pushing it down the first couple times feels a little sketchy because it's going to creak a little bit, but it closes just fine. Everything looks good. And our struts fit nicely right underneath, of course, the side of the fender. With a job this easy, this video is basically a PSA, just letting you know that this option exists for your Xterra. With only a couple nuts and a couple bolts to remove, getting your hood in a better position is really quite easy. If you want to continue to receive Xterra content like this, please go ahead and scroll down and hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, if you could hit that like button if you liked the video, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you really liked the video and you feel like it saved you some money or time, go ahead and say thanks by buying me a beer using that super thanks button down below. Other than that, I really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.